Okay, hi. This is my brand new 2010 YBR 125. So it's not really brand new, but it's brand new for me. I bought it about 2 weeks ago from one of my friends. 26,000 miles on it. So I got for a decent deal. The guy took really good care of it, I think. So it was nice. Just a bit of context. I never rode a bike before. A motorcycle, sorry. I rode a bicycle. I did ride a moped before, once. I did about 260 kilometers on it. And it was good, it was fun. So since then I decided I want to get a bike. I don't know how to drive manual. Well, I could drive manual on a car, but not on a bike. So I've had it about 2 weeks now, and I'm just kind of practicing in this garage down here. I literally put 20 kilometers on it. Every night I put about 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers. And it's, I mean, I'm coming along, getting some trouble, but this is kind of just the journey of me learning to ride a bike and hopefully getting it out on the streets. I do not have a learner permit yet, which is why I can't go on the streets, which is why I'm in the car park every night. So I'm just going to practice riding it. Any kind of interesting stuff along the way, I'll let you know. For the moment, I'm going to have it put in this really awkward position because I don't have a proper mount for the GoPro. So excuse me, but I hope you enjoy. And I hope the GoPro doesn't fall off, because that would be a pity. So I should show you first, starting up the bike. As I said, it's about 9 years old now, so it's a bit kind of fidgety. Getting the key in and turn it. But there you go. And I'll start it. And that's the bike for you. Not too bad. You have a neutral light, which is always helpful. So let's go. So far, I realized the hardest part of stuff is kind of getting neutral. Not neutral, sorry, getting out of neutral into first gear and taking off. That is obviously going to be really hard because of the stalling and stuff. But hopefully I don't stall too much. Okay. So another thing is I normally practice when is nighttime, like 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the night. Which is good because I live in a building where there's offices, businesses in Dublin. And for that reason, I don't really like to be here when people are here. For obvious reasons. But I'm going to just try and practice and not hit anybody's car, because then that would be very sad. Apart from this, wasn't my biggest problem so far in terms of learning to drive. I would say number one would be starting the bike, taking off, right? I'm still stalling way more than I think I would like to. Number two, starting on a hill. I cannot start on a hill at all, which is obviously a huge problem. I still don't know. I like watching YouTube videos and stuff on how to do it, and not really to much avail. Other than that, I think like switching gears is not too bad. Once you kind of get the hang of it, it's just like you switch one, you switch two, you know. This particular bike I'm on is a very, I don't know if you know about the YBRs, but the tires are chicken strips basically. They're tiny, so you can't really lean too much. The guy himself who sold it to me, he was like, you shouldn't really try and lean too much on the bike. Yeah, you can lean of course if it's dry, but in Ireland it's very rarely is it ever dry. So I don't really like to take that chance. I'm gonna try another takeoff here, because that's what I realized my biggest fault is. So we shall see. And this spot, for some reason, I always end up stalling like that. I don't know why. Like, if anybody has any advice, I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, like I don't understand. Okay, no, this is just bad. Okay, thank God I actually get it off there. I don't know. I think I take off pretty loudly as well. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it. I don't know if you're like supposed to turn all the way out one time. So please let me know if you should do that or you shouldn't do that. As I said, I am definitely by no means any expert. So anybody who actually know much more, I'd appreciate you telling me a little bit. So I mean, in the car park, I get a good amount of practice. Obviously, I don't get any practice because there are no cars, so I don't get any traffic practice. But in terms of like cornering, turning, basics, so like the very, very basic stuff about the bike I learned. I really want to take it out, but I know like if the guards catch me, the police here are called guards by the way. If the guards catch me, then your boy is going to be in a bad time, which is why I don't really carry it out. There's some other bikes, and basically that's it. So I don't really know what is the best steps in learning to ride. I'm gonna take the IBT course, which is gonna cost me €350, which is a massive amount of money in my opinion for learning how to ride a bike. And it's pretty standard, like pretty standard 350, 400, 600. That's the price, that's how it's range. I think that's quite a bit, which is why that's why I'm kind of holding off on buying it. I'm looking to get a job first. I am by no means rich, and then I'll start getting it out on the road. But with respect to this bike, it's quite cost effective. The other guy who had it, he said he used to get about 200 to 300 kilometers out of it, out of one tank, and the tank costs about 10 to 12 euro to fill up. If you're taking that into context, the bus takes me 250 to go about 50 kilometers. A cab takes me about 15 euro to go 5 kilometers. Well, okay, maybe that's a bit much. About 15 euro to go 15 kilometers. So I'd say the bike is the best way, and I think it's the most fun way, especially a small 125 like this. It's really good for city biking. My first choice was to get a YZF R125, who another guy was gonna sell me it for, but this guy, he was gonna sell me it for 3,000 euro, and I was like, nah. Especially since it got a little beaten up, and because I know for a fact he paid 1,000 euro for it. Yeah, he might have changed some stuff, but 3,000 is a bit much. Especially if not, and I think it's like a 2008 or something model, so I wasn't too keen on paying that amount of money. I'm pretty happy with this, trying to learn and get the basics down, and hopefully take it out a little more often over the summer. They have some very nice bikes here. I don't know if you can see that one right there. Don't know what that is. Some nice cars. This is an office building, so only rich white people basically. I am not white, just by the way. So this is just me on my little practice run. First time taking it out this time, and this is my hill. This hill is quite steep. This is probably the hardest thing I learned so far, as to how to ride up a hill, especially a steep hill like this. And the YBR is kind of it's a bit tight riding the bike. Not tight, sorry, but it's not as powerful as like a bigger engine bike. This bike is kind of like, you could tell is struggling to go up the hill. So yeah, so I'll just practice a little bit more taking off, because Daz was giving me trouble, and Daz kind of what you're gonna have to do when you're driving in the city all the time. So first gear, and take me. Okay, I just stalled. Okay, we'll try that again. Take me. Oh, okay. So everybody in this car park gonna think I'm a complete dunce. That's the third time I stalled. Fourth. Does this do anything to the engine? I don't know. Could somebody let me know, please? Why is it back? Okay. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm just terrible. I don't know. I'm not consistent at all. And that was a very rough lift off. I don't think that's how it should be. I don't know. If anybody has any advice on how to be more consistent, like riding, then that'll be great. Also, when you're going downhill, I tend to like give about 90% front brake and about 10% back. I don't know. Could you all tell me like was the right ratio? Because I'm not entirely sure, and I don't want to lock up a wheel and, God forbid, skid anyway, you know. So this is me here. I also need to start practicing figure eights, but I don't really want to do that when the car park's so, well, crowded. So I'll probably do that tonight on the next video when I actually have the time and the space. But this is just the normal track here. I'm probably gonna be doing this for a couple more weeks, like downstairs in this car park, because I don't really have anywhere else to go, and it's pretty illegal. I was actually tempted to take it out today into the city, but then I realized I live near a Garda station, by the way, a police station. If they catch you, is 5,000 euro fine or 6 months in jail. And at this point, I'd probably take the jail, because God knows I ain't got the money to pay no fine, no ticket. Alright, another takeoff. I just don't understand, because I think I'm balancing the clutch and the throttle properly. I just don't know. Maybe I need to give it more gas. I don't know yet. And I think I need to talk to my IBT guy. IBT stands for Initial Basic Training, by the way. So, I don't know if other people, what's the situations like in different countries, but in Ireland it's a bit kind of stressful to get a license, in my opinion. So first of all, you need to do the theory test, which I've done. You need to buy the book, which costs about 30 euro. Is the RDS driving theory. You buy the book, you study the book. It's like a lot of questions, like 100 questions, well, way more than 100 questions, like 300-400 questions. You kind of do those questions, and then the exam will come, right? You book your date to do the exam. You do the exam, is about an hour or 45 minutes, about 40 questions, I think. So you do the questions, and then they will tell you if you passed right there and then. So if you passed, they will give you your certificate, right, or your documents, and from there you have 2 years to go and do apply for your learner's permit. All right, if you don't, obviously it'll expire. So I'm going to apply for my learner's permit from the NDLS, which is I don't know what it stands for being honest with you, but it's the NDLS. They're the licensing body, I guess, for bikes. So I'll do that, and once I do that, then they'll give me a learner's permit in about 5 to 7 days. They said 5 to 7 working days. They should post it out to me, and from there, then you'll be allowed to do the IBT, the initial basic training. Yeah, and when you do that, you will be able to ride with your instructor, who will give you a beautiful 16-hour class on how to ride your bike in traffic, etc., etc. So once he takes you out and stuff, you will once he takes you out, you will get your IBT. He'll give you the licensing, and then you will be allowed to legally ride on the roadway. Now, the thing about that is you still don't have insurance, so you will need to get insurance. And from what I heard, insurance is expensive for a first-time bike rider. Probably $1,000 a year, which I think is steep, especially because I'm a student. I don't have an income. But it'll get cheaper if you do decide to get your license. Now, when I say decide to get your license, I have a couple of friends and they don't get their license. Like, they just did their IBT and they have their learner's permit and they just didn't do the test. So they're just allowed to ride. Once you have an L on your back, saying that you're a learner on the bike plates, then it's fine. So they do that, and then once they do that, they basically just keep renewing their learner's permit every 2 years, I believe, until it expires. But after you do the IBT and you have your learners, you can apply to do a test. I believe the test is about €85 at this point in time. You do the test, and then after doing the test, you just basically get your license. And then insurance will obviously be cheaper if you get your license. And if you do some defensive driving courses as well, it'll be cheaper. So that's my plan anyways. Get a job, do the IBT, get my license, my full license, and then apply for the insurance, and then we'll see how that goes. But that's a long way from now. As I said, I have exams. I'm doing medicine, by the way, and it's a quite intense course. So that's me in a nutshell. I will keep you up to date on how things go. But until then, it's really just a little bit more of this. I'll try and get a little bit better shots, especially when I get a proper harness for the GoPro. And it will be much better content when I'm able to actually go outside in the streets and take the bike out into the countryside and stuff. I know this is a 125, so I don't expect to be doing much touring on it. But like, if anybody knows of any if anybody knows of any sorry, I was really trying to pay attention to starting back the bike because there were 5 people looking at me, and I didn't want to stall in front of them, and I actually didn't stall, so maybe all I need is a little bit of pressure. But yeah, if anybody knows, if anybody did any kind of long distance driving with a 125, I'd like to know, because I'm considering taking this bike out to the country. As I said, I do medicine, and a lot of times they send us out on different locations, like Dublin to Waterford or something, and if you're not from Ireland, it's quite far. So just let me know. I keep stalling, oh my god. I'd say so far 4 out of every 5 times I try to start the bike, I stall. So hoping to get that number down over the next couple of weeks before I actually apply to do the IBT, because when I do the IBT I want to actually be able to ride. But that's just me anyways. So I do have to study because I have exams coming up. This was kind of just my stress reliever, so I'm going to park my baby up here, and then I will see how things go when I decide to come back down. But anyway, thank you for looking, if you did look, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I will be back with more decentish content in the future. Peace.